Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. So, as you can tell, today's video is late, and the reason why it's late is because I was on a date. It was a casual date, like not a full formal date and stuff like that, but it was the first casual date I've actually had in about a year or so. And it's been a while. It was still nice, but I want to talk about it a little bit in terms of a context of something that I think I brought up way back in the day, but that's before we got all this lovely new stuff. So I think it's worth repeating here again. So the day went relatively well, but sure, we were nice to each other, but there wasn't really that kind of, if you want to call it the connection, as it were. But she seemed nice and she said, yeah, happy to remain friends, which I've seen and heard before and probably not going to actually happen, right? Like, I don't suspect I'm going to get a friend request or a follow request anytime soon. And sure, there's a part of me that's a little annoyed and disappointed that it didn't go perhaps a bit better or there wasn't a bit more of a connection. Again, still a halfway decent evening. But I want to talk about that little tidbit about, it's probably not going to happen despite what she said of, oh yeah, no, totally. And I know there's a lot of men out there, especially men on the right and young pissed off white boys in particular, who would take this as like their incel origin story of, oh, women always prissy, blah, blah, blah. And that's not what this is. This is what I want to hit on. Pardon the pun. This is another case of, women having to say and do things for their own safety, which is really unfortunate. There are people out there who would want to put blame on the woman in this situation, but I can't blame her because, quite frankly, a lot of men are pretty fucking terrible. Sure, I know I'm trustworthy. A bunch of you know I'm trustworthy. She doesn't know that. She's meeting me for the first time. And unfortunately, we often see story after story of women being attacked or abused or worse by someone who, was nice to them, or they went on a date and then felt entitled to their time, their friendship, or their body. And so it's a very potentially dangerous game that women are playing. And so we men need to do a far better job of actually pausing and thinking about that perspective because, yeah, guess what? We don't have to worry about it. I don't go out on dates and have to worry about, oh, geez, I hope this one's nice. That's not what we have to worry about. Women, meanwhile, have to go through a laundry list of items to ensure their own safety. And isn't that so fucking sad? Isn't that so sad that women feel the need to lie to, quote unquote, either protect our feelings, but also primarily to protect their safety? That's how bad it is for a lot of women out there. And yet we men often don't talk about it or think about it because it just doesn't come up, because it's not something we have to deal with. We don't have to think about, oh, hey, is someone following me? We don't have to think about, better check in the back of the car, see if anything's changed or there's a suspicious blanket that suddenly appeared there. These are things we don't have to do because of the power imbalance. All in all, again, it was a good night. We had some good coffee and we walked around a lovely neighborhood and we cracked some jokes, shared, commiserated stories from being teachers. So, all in all, still a decent evening, but just that one part towards the end. It's not that I could put it down around the evening, but it definitely reminded me of the fact that men and women, when we date, have very different perspectives and lived experiences. And unfortunately, I had to be reminded of that because for us, pretty much never happens. But for women, it's a constant threat. And that is definitely what's bothering me today.